Hi loves, it's Lacey and welcome to our space. So for today's video, we are going to be doing some quick and easy floral DIYs. Starting off with number one here, where I have a bunch of sunflowers and a little candle holder that has an offset taper section that I got from Hobby Lobby last year for $1.24. I also have some greenery from my stash. These sunflowers that came from at-home stores last year, and they were $2.99 for the bunch. And then this beautiful sunflower that I got earlier this year from Walmart. I don't remember how much it cost, but they still have those in stock. So I have been seeing some abstract kind of floral decorations in a lot of stores like Home Goods and at-home stores, and I'm going to make one of my own. So we are going to be cutting this down, as you can see, and making sure it'll fit in the taper holder. And then I took two of the sunflowers and just cut them at different lengths, not too tall. I took them from this bunch, but I don't like the leaves that are on this bunch. And so I grabbed some from my stash, and I'm going to be adding them to each sunflower. Then I grabbed this greenery that had these little leaf sections that had yellow on them, and I thought these would be a nice addition to it as well. So I'm taking 3 of them off, and I'm going to add 2 to the longest sunflower and then 1 to the shorter one. This entire thing is just personal preference, like I say on my channel all the time, or whatever you have in your stash that'll go with your DIYs. I'm not sure where these came from. I've had them for quite a while, but there are tons of florals on sale or even on clearance. And remember, Joann's is going out of business, and so if they're still open, you can probably get those things there as well. So then I like to dry fit and make sure all my stuff will fit in, which is what I did right there. And then I took a bunch of Gorilla Hot Glue and I put it in the bottom of the taper section, and I'm holding this to try to help it dry. In order to make sure that it works out real well and it looks like it's growing, I grabbed some reindeer moss that I had left over in the Ziploc bag, and I'm just adding hot glue and then some reindeer moss back and forth until the whole thing stood up. As a matter of fact, it will come completely out of the taper on its own. You can just pull it out when you're done with it if you want to use it for something else. And I know you won't be able to get that taper candle holder, but any taper candle holder or votive one would work for this. Then I took these die cut butterflies. If you've been on my channel recently, you can see that I'm using a lot of them this spring, and I will be this summer as well. They came from Dollar Tree and they come in various colors, but I don't like that they're white on the back, so I'm going to back 2 of them on each other. I'm putting Gorilla Hot Glue everywhere except for the top of the head of the butterfly, and then since it's a high heat glue gun that I use, my Ryobi one, it gives me time to move it around until they're as close as possible meeting up. These are not symmetrical, so you're going to have a little white showing around the edges on both sides. So then I just pick one side and cut off the excess white that you can see, and I make that the top. On some of them, like this one, it's not too bad, but on others, you'll have a great deal of white if you decide to back the ones that are really not symmetrical. So after I do that, I then take some gold floral wire, because all of these butterflies have gold in them, so I use gold floral wire. I cut off a section to match the kind of size of the butterfly, and I bend it into a V. Then I make the bottom of the V really tight because that's going to be the antenna, and it's going to fit down in the section between the 2 butterflies at its head. That's why I don't put glue right there. After I get those bent in half, then I take my needle nose pliers and I make little curls at the top to make it look more like antennae. And then I put a little dab of hot glue on it after I'm done and put it into the head. And sometimes I spread them out further or bend them up a little higher. So here's the head part, and I purposely didn't put glue there. And I'm just grabbing a little dot of it, and I'm going to squeeze it slightly and insert the antenna. I just hold it until it dries and position the wire like I like it. Then next, I take my thumbs and I put them on either side of the wings, and I bend in around that antenna to make the butterfly look like it's flying. And you can normally see exactly where the body is, where I bend it. And I know you can't see me placing the butterfly because of the flowers there, but just give it a second. I'm going to glue this one on. I put the glue right on the body part, and I'm going to stick it to the edge of our little votive candle holder. I thought I tipped it up enough so you could see. But then, if you know me, I'm extra. And so I have these butterflies right here, and I thought maybe a tiny one, that one right there, or the bigger one, but I end up doing the tiny one on top of the big flower, and there it is. I love how this turned out. It's so simple to do. You can do this with any florals that you have. Just remember, the taller one is heavier. I'm using a glass candle holder that's pretty flat. You can do it with any kind of candle holder that isn't supposed to hold florals, and it's like this beautiful abstract piece. So now we're going to get on to DIY number 2. For DIY number 2, I'm using a lot of Dollar Tree items, like these stickers. I have 2 of them here. I have like 4 in my stash, but we're going to use 2. I also have this honeycomb ribbon that came from Dollar Tree, and this honeycomb candle that I've had in my stash for years. I have this broken candle holder that came from Dollar Tree that I'm going to use, and this broken puck light that came from there. I don't even know where the back is, but you can turn it on with the button on and off, and I save everything. I have this little hurricane-like vase for $3 in the Dollar Tree Plus section, and then I have this plastic leftover from packaging. Like when you get something you can see through it, I just save that plastic all the time. I also have these berries because they look like the berries on my stickers, and the same sunflowers that we were using. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this sticker off. It's clear. I love these, and this is actually the first time I've used them in a DIY here on my channel. They've had them for several years, and I've had them in my stash. We're just going to put them around this vase and make it into a candle holder. I think it's really pretty for this, and it fits pretty much perfectly. Like they line up really well on this side, but you do have a gap in them. So then I decided to take, you don't need this. You could skip this step completely and do any candle you want it. But I'm taking my honeycomb ribbon. I'm adding it all the way around the base of this vase. I think it just gives it a little something extra, and it works with my theme. After that's done, I'm going to take this plastic. Now, you don't need to use this either if you have a candle holder that's short, or if you want your candle to be all the way in the vase, you don't have to do this. It will be a different light up method if you want to light this up. But for me, I want my candle to sit above the vase a little so you can see that it's honeycomb. So I just made it into like a little cylindrical stand for it. And I'm going to take some of the leftover stickers and put it on it for the inside of it, because this is going to hold up our light and hold up our candle. So we can light this up through these beautiful stickers. And once we're done with that, I decided that I wanted to put the ribbon around the edge of the candle holder, or I guess it's part of that candle holder, of the light, the broken part to the light. Because you won't see where the batteries are, because that's where the candle's going to sit. But you will see that white coming through the glass. So I decided to make that honeycomb as well. Then I stick it on top of our little holder we made. And it does have an on-off switch, as you can see right there. And it will hold our candle. But I'm doing florals here. There's florals on the sticker. And I'm going to add sunflowers all the way around this candlestick. Now, Dollar Tree had these so long ago, I don't think you can get them, but they do have all kinds of candle holders there. Or you can use one that you have in your stash from somewhere else. And I'm just going to stick all of these flowers all the way around. I use 5 all together. And next, I'm just showing you, I had these little like berry beads that are on the sticker too. And I was going to stick those in between these, but it was unnecessary, so I didn't. So I'm not using those. But I think it turned out really nice. And it's going to sit here perfectly because I put the flowers down kind of low where you can stack everything in there. And I'm using a little square mirror. I have round ones, but I couldn't find it. And the Dollar Tree little candle holder ones were too big for this. So I'm just moving on from that. So now I pulled out these little bees. I took out 3 of them, but I only used 2. They are buttons, but they're really cute. And since I have a honeycomb theme going on, I decided to put a couple of them actually on the honeycomb sticker in the wax, like in where the little indentation is on one. And then I put one on the top. I tell you right now, I took one off already and moved it, and it does nothing to the wax. It just sits there on top of it. So then I made another butterfly. I didn't show you guys how I made this one because I showed you how I made the last one. And I'm going to put it in this big clear space because when you put the sticker on, you're going to have that big empty space. And I'm going to stick it on that empty space because you guys all know I'm extra, and if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Lacey. I'm extra. I go a little bit above on all of my DIYs. And I, of course, found a couple other butterflies and stuck them on as well. So this is what it looks like, and I'm in love with it. I think it looks really cool. And I think it's perfect for the spring season and the summer season, which we're going to be heading into soon. I love butterflies, if you can't tell. All of my recent DIYs have butterflies on it. But this is so simple to do. It's a few stickers and a few flowers and a few butterflies. And I just like anything that lights up too. And all of it's from my stash. You don't even need the bottom candlestick because this is perfect on its own. I love the fact that it lights up like this, and you could use the taller vase and have the whole thing inside of it and still put the middle candle on a stand, and it will be really, really pretty. As you can see, I added some more butterflies to it. Here's one on the bottom, almost in the back. And then I turned around and added one inside on the honeycomb at the back too. So now on to DIY number 3, and this is probably the easiest of them all. I have this piece of wood and it has a notch in it for like sliding in a picture or something. I had that in my stash for a very long time. I have more of the butterflies and some gold floral wire, of course, because I needed to make the antenna. But I also have these beautiful stems from Michaels. They are cherry blossoms and they're in a peach color. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this stem and bend the bottom of the stem. We're not going to cut any of it off at all. And we're going to try to make this into a half circle section from where the bottom leaves of the stem are all the way up to the other side. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just turning some of the flowers around because they're getting caught in the back, and I'm just fluffing the top section of it. But what you want is a partial circle. Like it's going to be 3/4 of a circle like this. And that's all I'm going to do to the bottom of it. Once I get it the way I like it, I'm going to shove the stem into this opening. Now the key to this working is to make sure that all the branches at the top fall in line with the wood block. They need to line up and go straight across it, or else it'll be heavy and it'll tip over whichever direction they're facing. So that's all I'm doing here, is making sure they all go in the direction that the block is going, and it'll stand up by itself. I did use my needle nose pliers, and you didn't see that, where I helped push it down in the very middle. But I know you're not going to have that block, and if you find one, it might not work out the same way. You can see I'm using my pliers here to push it down even more. You can make one of these by just having a block of wood cut and put it in a miter box and then saw through it with just a regular like hacksaw or regular saw. Or you could use the tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree and make a base and then put blocks on either side, and just make sure you do it wide enough to put it in there. And you could glue it down. Mine isn't glued down because it was unnecessary. And then, of course, I'm going to be doing another butterfly, and I already made it because you've seen me make one in the beginning. And I'm just showing you how I'm going to bend it, and I'm going to put some glue on the body. I'm going to stick it on the inside here, over on the section to the left where the butterfly, it looks like it's coming for the flowers. And here's what this looks like. I made a couple of these because I have 2 of the cherry blossoms in this color, and I absolutely love how this turned out. I've seen things like this in stores, and I think it was very simple to make. Like I said before, this was my quickest DIY. I make the butterflies pretty fast, and I didn't even do anything to the piece of wood. It was from a previous project. So that is it for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and liking and always commenting on my videos. Comment down below. Let me know which one of these was your favorite. I like them all, and I'm kind of torn between the first one and that last one as to be my favorite. Though I really do love how this one turned out here with all of the components that I put together. I think I would probably not use this candlestick with this, but I will use it with a regular candle because I really love how this looks by itself and how it lights up. I think I'm going to also make one on the taller votive candle that they have at Dollar Tree. And this, I'm already gifting to someone who wants it. And I think I'm going to make me one because I really love how it turned out. I have another thing of the cherry blossoms in the same color. So yeah, I'm going to do a second one of these. And that is it for this video. And I'll catch you in my next one. Bye, loves.